Hari Raya Aidilfitri in Sarawak celebrates unity through open houses and cultural harmony. Meanwhile, Smart Team arrives in Sagaing, Myanmar for earthquake rescue mission. In world news, hopes dims as rescue efforts slow in Mandalay after quake kills 1,700 people. Hari Raya Aidilfitri in Sarawak is more than just a celebration marking the end of Ramadan. It is a symbol of unity and harmony among the state's diverse communities. Sarawak Governor Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar, in his festive address, highlighted that the tradition of open houses reflects the unique harmony that defines the state.
Amanah ini bukan sahaja memperkukuhkan ikatan kekeluargaan dan persahabatan, tetapi juga menyemai semangat toleransi serta kasih sayang antara kaum.
He urged the people to continue this practice of visiting one another, preserving it as a heritage that fosters unity. Sarawak's Hari Raya festivities, he said, are always marked by strong bonds of unity, where people of different ethnicities and religions come together to strengthen their relationships.
Premier Sarawak Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg emphasized that education is key to breaking the cycle of poverty and reducing the economic gap between rural and urban areas. As part of this commitment, he announced that the Sarawak government will begin offering free education to Sarawakian students enrolling in state-owned universities starting next year.
In his 2025 Hari Raya Aidilfitri message, Abang Johari highlighted that this initiative, the first of its kind in Malaysia, aims to ensure that rural students have equal access to education as their urban counterparts. Last Friday, the Sarawak Cabinet approved the implementation of the Free Tertiary Education Scheme (FTES) in a meeting held on March 20th. The scheme will be implemented in 2026 and is open to Sarawakian students enrolling or currently studying at 4 state-owned universities, namely Swinburne University of Technology Sarawak, Curtin University Malaysia, University of Technology Sarawak and ICATS University College Sarawak. According to the Ministry of Education, Innovation and Talent Development Sarawak, the scheme covers tuition fees and provides an annual allowance of 15,000 ringgit for students from households with a per capita income of 1,500 ringgit or less per month. The approved programs under FTES include bachelor's degrees in science, technology, engineering and mathematics, STEM, law, medicine, accounting and finance.
The Sarawak government continues its effort to develop the state into a developed region by 2030, focusing on improving citizens' livelihoods while attracting more investments and businesses. Deputy Premier Sarawak, Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Halil Ahsan, stated that Sarawak is increasingly recognized as a progressive investment hub and a reliable trade destination, thanks to its business and investment-friendly policies.
Kita akan terus memperkukuhkan ekosistem perdagangan dan pelaburan yang berdaya saing, inklusif dan mampan. Dalam semangat Aidilfitri ini, marilah kita bersama-sama membina masa depan ekonomi Sarawak dan negara yang lebih cemerlang, memacu inovasi dan memperkukuh jaringan perdagangan global sambil memastikan setiap lapisan masyarakat menikmati limpahan manfaat pembangunan ekonomi.
In his 2025 Hari Raya Aidilfitri address, he further encouraged Sarawakians to use Aidilfitri as a platform to strengthen unity and harmony in the multicultural society. Additionally, he emphasized that values such as integrity, kindness, and moderation are essential in daily life, especially in leadership, governance, and business. The recent electricity tariff increase announced by Tenaga Nasional Berhad TNB does not apply to Sarawak. As such, Sarawak's Minister of Utility and Telecommunication, Dato' Sri Julaihi Narawi, stated that electricity and water supply in Sarawak fall under the jurisdiction of the state government. He further clarified that the Sarawak government has no plans to increase the current electricity tariff in the state.
Tidak ada kena-mengena. Sebab kita bukan di bawah Energy Commission. Sarawak adalah secara autonomi tarif elektrik ataupun tarif air adalah di bawah bidang kuasa kerajaan Sarawak sendiri. So ia tidak ada kena-mengena dengan kita. Namun mungkin kita boleh melihat bagaimana mereka mengenakan tarif baru. Mungkin kita boleh study apa yang mereka lakukan. Tetapi ianya tidak ada kena-mengena.
Komisi ini tidak ada plan untuk naikkan tarif itu?
Setakat ini belum ada lagi. Ya.
Boleh dikatakan tarif elektrik Sarawak akan sehingga hujung tahun?
InsyaAllah. Setakat ini belum ada lagi. Sebab yang seperti yang saya katakan tadi, tarif yang diumumkan oleh TNB adalah untuk Semenanjung Malaysia sahaja. Ya. Jadi kalau kita lihat tarif yang ada di Sarawak pada hari ini pun adalah berkuasa di Sarawak tak sama. We are not under the Energy Commission.
He made these remarks while speaking to the media after attending the Hari Raya Aidilfitri prayers with villagers in Kampong Sebangan Sepuyau on Monday. In January 2025, TNB announced that the government had approved a 14.2% increase in the base tariff rate for the 2025 to 2027 period. However, the government maintained the actual electricity tariff for industries and households for the first half of 2025, meaning there is no change in the current rates. The next tariff review is scheduled for July 2025. Welcome back. The Special Malaysian Disaster Assistance and Rescue Team SMART has successfully arrived in Sagaing, Myanmar to commence their humanitarian mission and assist in search and rescue operations following the recent earthquake. According to the National Disaster Management Agency NADMA, the Malaysian Humanitarian Aid Mission Team MAS-01 reached the disaster-stricken area after an arduous 24-hour journey with support and escort from local police forces. The first aircraft landed at 11:36 a.m., followed by the second at 2 p.m. The team, along with NADMA representatives and SAR equipment, then traveled by land for approximately 8 hours to reach the operations site. The team, led by Contingent Commander PGKB-1 Muhammad Hafizul Abdul Halim, consists of 16 Malaysian Armed Forces personnel, 13 Royal Malaysia Police officers, and 21 members from the Fire and Rescue Department of Malaysia JPPM. Last Friday, a 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck Myanmar, severely impacting Mandalay, Bago, Magway, northeastern Shan State, Sagaing, and Naypyidaw. The disaster also affected neighboring Thailand, with the death toll in Myanmar reaching nearly 2,000, alongside thousands injured and hundreds still missing. On to world news. Hopes of finding more survivors were fading on Monday in Mandalay, where residents spent a third night outdoors, following a devastating earthquake that has killed at least 1,700 people in Myanmar and neighboring Thailand. Rescue operations slowed in the central Myanmar city of 1.7 million people as conditions grew increasingly dire. Temperatures were expected to reach 40 degrees Celsius, intensifying the exhaustion of emergency crews and accelerating the decomposition of bodies, making identification more difficult. A tragic scene unfolded Sunday evening at a collapsed apartment building where rescuers believed they had saved a pregnant woman trapped under the rubble for over 55 hours. In a desperate attempt to free her, they amputated her leg, but despite their efforts, she succumbed to blood loss shortly after being pulled out. Meanwhile, on Monday morning, Muslim worshippers gathered near the ruins of a mosque for Eid al-Fitr prayers, marking the end of Ramadan amid widespread devastation, with hundreds of funerals expected to take place throughout the day. The disaster began with a powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake that struck near Mandalay on Friday afternoon, March 28, followed minutes later by a 6.7 magnitude aftershock. The tremors caused buildings to collapse, bridges to fall, and roads to buckle, with central Myanmar suffering some of the worst destruction. Rescue efforts continue, but as time passes, the chances of finding survivors began to dwindle. The first orbital rocket launch from continental Europe crashed seconds after liftoff on Sunday in a major test for the continent's emerging space economy. The Spectrum rocket, developed by German startup SARAWAK'S, lifted off from Norway's Andøya spaceport but began emitting smoke from its sides before crashing into the sea with a powerful explosion. SARAWAK'S stated that the launch pad remained intact and reiterated that they did not expect to reach orbit on this initial attempt. Andøya Space, the Norwegian state-owned company operating the spaceport, activated crisis response measures, though regional police confirmed no injuries or damage beyond the rocket itself. The 28-meter, two-stage Spectrum rocket, designed to carry up to 1 ton of payload, was launched without cargo for the tests. Ahead of liftoff, after multiple weather-related delays, SARAWAK'S had downplayed expectations, emphasizing that the goal was to collect data rather than achieve orbit. Despite the failure, SARAWAK'S CEO Daniel Metzler highlighted that the key milestones were achieved, including a successful liftoff and validation of the flight termination system. He maintained confidence in the company's market position and affirmed that necessary adjustments will be made. 2 more Spectrum rockets are already in development as the company continues its push into the private space sector. This test marked the first orbital launch attempt from continental Europe, including Russia, and was predominantly privately funded. A previous European orbital launch attempt in 2023 by Richard Branson's Virgin Orbit using a modified Boeing 747 from the UK also failed, leading to the company's collapse. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms at TV Sarawak. Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching. And for all Muslims, Selamat Hari Raya and have a good night.
Orang